I'm Laura Connor. I'm the County Director for the Roane County Health Department. COVID came around, 2020. There was a lot of panic, a lot of questions. The way we delivered services totally changed. People weren't coming in the building as much. We were doing a lot of telephonic services, telehealth. Our phone system just wouldn't handle that volume. HostMy Calls and Brad have had a relationship with the county for a good long while. We really developed a close relationship, and he bailed us out.
Roane County Health Department is, I'm going to say, is a very unique place. It's where people care about the public, and they care about their jobs, and they care about what they do to help the community. In 2020, when the pandemic was full-blown, the public was very frustrated. They had an very old, antiquated phone system that only had 4 analog lines that fed that system. On a daily basis, with thousands of phone calls that they were trying to get, where people were trying to get scheduled for screening, testing, and then ultimately when the vaccines were available, to be able to call to get scheduled for a vaccine. And then they had all of the other healthcare needs of the community that they were still trying to be able to maintain as much as possible. It became very frustrating. We saw the frustration in the eyes of the employees that were trying to take those calls, because they really wanted to help the public and do their job, but they were very hamstrung by being able to do that. We were able to come together, put a plan in place, and then very quickly ramp up and install HostMy Calls, and that's now called HostMy phones into the Roane County Health Department.
Well, people weren't able to access services. They couldn't get through to us, we couldn't get through to them. A lot of people had never heard busy signals before. There was a lot on the line for us. We just weren't able to function in a way that we needed to at the time.
We were seeing on an average daily basis of about 250 calls completed. We were immediately able to go from that around 250 a day for call completions to anywhere from 1,750 to 2,000 call completions a day. It gave us the capability of helping them manage that workflow through a very critical time.
Social media is either our best friend or our worst enemy, and the comments that we saw a lot then were, we can't get through, we can't get through, we can't get through. After that, it really made a world of difference. People were able to access, so the perception of what we were doing, even though we were still doing what we had always been doing, that perception, it really helped to change the face of that. It's been a blessing ever since. Brad and HostMy Calls have been so incredibly responsive, so incredibly helpful. We recently had a major building renovation and was there with us every step of the way through that, through some very impossible situations otherwise. We moved into a temporary facility that was not set up for what we needed it to be, both electronically, telephone-wise, data-wise. He really helped solve those issues, and he's been with us, very accessible, very responsive. When we've called into the call center for things, they've always been very supportive and responsive, and it's been a tremendous experience for everybody.
The stress and the relief on the frontline people taking phones was just phenomenal. Very quickly, the public perception changed from they're not answering the phones and they're not taking care of us to, wow, we're getting through, we're getting people calling us back. So the perception in the public changed dramatically, even so much so that some of the outlying and surrounding counties, constituents were having a hard time getting a hold of their health departments, and we started seeing people from all of the surrounding counties starting to show up here because they were able to call, get through, get scheduled for whatever it is, the services they needed, and they showed up here. So we took a Roane County, which is about, at that time, was about 55,000 people, and then we turned around and put another influx of another probably 25 or 30,000 people on top of them to be able to try to provide services to those surrounding counties. Laura and her team, though, stepped up. They stepped up, did it. I've been proud. I've lived in Roane County pretty much all my life. But I'm going to be honest and say I'm proud of the fact that my county didn't walk away from the adversities and the challenges of the day, but they stepped up, they got in front of it, they made things happen. And at the end of the day, we look back on it now and we can be proud of our county because they did so. I'm just proud of the fact that HostMy is a great partner. You don't do anything by yourself. you do it with a team. The folks at HostMy were literally our team. Literally, like Laura said, no challenge that they gave us here or that the public gave us were we not able to be able to almost immediately put a plan in place and be able to make that transition so that we were again able to continue to help support the county and the surrounding counties at that time.
Brad and HostMy have been an incredible partner for us and helped us through a lot of otherwise pretty impossible situations. So we're very glad to have them.